Hello. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Outside the Fire. I am your host, Krazee J. I have some kind of pepper. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's not really that hot. That way I can get through this interview, or I wouldn't have done it first. So thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Today's guest, somebody you may or may not know of, but we're going to get to know him a little better. I had the wonderful opportunity to meet him a few weeks ago at a local hot sauce festival they had here. Great person in general, behind the scenes, does a lot of things to support the community. He does a lot of things to support, other foundations as well. We'll find out why and what makes him tick. Please help me welcome Jayson Pettibone from Late from Work. Hello and welcome.
What's going on, man?
How are you? Thank you for joining me. I know, like I said, scheduling isn't always easy, but we are.
We made it work. That's all that matters.
That's right. That's right. I got quite a few interviewees to get through, and you are here. You are here because you received a personal invite by the League of Fire to attend ZestFest in Dallas, Texas, which is not real close to you.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's good though. That's exciting news. Like I was saying, that's a big deal. League of Fire has sought you out, saw your videos, and said, "Hey, this guy could be competitive for a belt, a North America belt."
Whew.
Yeah.
It's a lot
deal.
to think.
We got Guns and Reapers in here spying on you. For those who might not know, that is Ruthie Booth. She is also a competitor. We will be interviewing later on this week or next. So, Jayson, you are Jayson. I'm Krazee J. It's kind of like Jason. Anyway, we don't know much about you yet. I haven't interviewed you yet, which you were actually in one of my lineups to do before this. So here we'll get a little bit of a twofold here. So this is your opportunity to kind of introduce yourself, give us a little bit of a backstory about you and why you call yourself Late for Work.
Well, that's actually kind of a funny story. My name is Jayson with a Y. Really, we started this channel. Dylan, one of my best friends, he's on and off our channel now. We started off doing this kind of as a joke, as fun, basically. If anyone's ever watched Reckless Eating, we started off doing stuff like they did back in the day when YouTube wasn't as strict. So we were doing a lot of like drinking challenges, like trying to drink 6 beers in 5 minutes and 100 shots in an hour, and crazy stupid stuff. Which is what gave us our name Late for Work, because we actually were never late for work after doing something like that the day before.
Oh, wow.
The night. So it was kind of as a joke. And then we gained a lot of traction early on. And then we kind of just started molding to more of the YouTube policy as, we were starting to get our strikes and stuff, because apparently getting thrown up on camera isn't good, which happened quite a few times. Dylan ended up throwing up on me. Kind of funny, but that's kind of the story for the Late for Work thing. And we've been doing this for 2 years, so not too bad.
Yeah, and then I don't know how long or how recent you've been doing some of the spicy content. No, the hot pepper stuff and getting into that type of environment. What got you guys into that?
That was mostly from we got challenged by another YouTube channel to do the Hot Dang Show bites.
Okay.
This about a year ago. Yeah, around a year ago now. And that was our first, like, I guess, League of Fire challenge, you'd say, because we did the two of six because we got dared to do it, which it wasn't that bad. And then we did the hot dang show bites, and then that's how I found out what League of Fire was, and through Chris, the Scoville unit, because he's been doing League of Fire stuff for a while. So he kind of introduced us into that. It's been about a year since did some League of Fire challenges. I haven't done any lately because we just moved into a new house and all that stuff. Sure. But my first pod I ever ate was actually 3 months ago. It was June 13th. I ate my first Dragon's Breath pod. That was the step into pod eating, that is. Nice. So I've been kind of just eating pods for fun since then. And I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. The burn is very intense, and I like the flavor of pods for the most part. So I kind of do it just to do it. And now I have a reason to do it.
So is it you've gotten lucky and got some tasty pods, or you haven't hit one of those ones that make you go, oh, I'm not sure if I like these anymore? Or is it you really like just that crunch and that even the earthy taste? Do you like that part of it?
I don't mind the earthy taste. There has been a few of them that have made me get almost kind of throw up quite a few times, but most of it I can kind of get through. I kind of get it's hard to explain. I guess flavor fatigue is the problem.
Yeah.
Like eating the same thing over and over again, you kind of start getting that gag reflex and whatnot. But I really don't mind the flavor of it. Like I ate 20 jalapeno peppers 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And that was pretty bad flavor fatigue.
Yeah. So of the pods you've eaten, is there a favorite that you've tried, or one that you're looking forward to trying, or something like that?
I'm trying to think what it was. It was a Purple Reaper Cross was one of my favorites. It was very sweet. I'm not sure what it was crossed with. It came from Ink Gardener. They make some pretty hot and tasty pods. A lot of their chocolate pods aren't very floral or perfumey, which is awesome. But I think that would be my favorite. And the Ghostly Lemon Jalapeno. That one's really, really.
Hello, Annie. Hello, Just Kim. Hello, Scoville Unit. They're all here joining us so far, and some others that haven't commented. So we always thank you for joining us and taking time. We appreciate you, all of us. If there's a question you want to know, feel free to put it in the comments, and we'll make sure we ask this gentleman here. So how long have you been doing the spicy thing? Is it something you've done for a long time and just discovered that there's actually something out there for it, or is it fairly new to you?
Very new.
Okay.
Like I said, hot dang show bites was really the introduction. I've had, before starting the channel 2 years ago, I think the hottest thing I've ever had was the mango habanero wings from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Mm-hmm.
And those I could only eat like 3 or 4 at a time, and I would burn up, cry, and need drinks or whatever. But since starting the channel, I've learned and grown with the spiciness, basically. I'd probably say since around Christmas time, just this past Christmas, I've been heavily into doing hot sauce reviews and eating pods since June, and kind of just sticking with the spicy stuff. Before that, definitely not. Yeah.
Hello, Steve. Thank you for joining.
How's it going?
So have you done any type of your challenge, your YouTube channel, you did some goofy things. Have you ever done anything like massive quantities, or something that was just beyond your capabilities as far as quantity eating or speed eating or even spicy so far?
Well, I'm not good at speed eating at all. So that's my real struggle. This morning I tried eating Carolina Reaper popcorn. It was 3.5 ounces in 2 minutes. I got about 2/3 done. Quantity, chugging stuff has been like my biggest thing. I'm able to chug like, the boots of stuff fairly quick, 10 to 15 seconds. Food wise, I'm no, not at all.
Yeah, I watched some of you guys. You guys did what did you call the chug off competition where you kind of narrowed down some of your competitors down to like the finals and did that. What were some of those random or even things that might be off the wall to normal people? Just you don't have to give all of them, just some of the random things that you guys have gone through.
Oh man, the worst one by far was the baby formula. That was really bad. I even forget 34 ounces or 40 ounces of it. That was bad. I actually ended up throwing up back into the bucket of formula and drinking it.
Oh, just to get
Yeah,
it down, right?
just that to win the trophy, which I actually ended up winning.
Yes.
Uh, I had to do that. That was gruesome. I did 32 ounces of devil spit pickle juice. That was pretty bad.
Ugh,
The after effect of that was terrible.
yeah.
And then I think I did 16 ounces of pig's feet juice,
Mhm.
which was kind of chunky and disgusting.
Yeah, that sounds like I said, if you haven't checked them out, Late for Work, this is your short plug real quick. Late for Work on YouTube. They have all kinds of fun events that they've done. Like I said, I'll give you a chance to where we can find you later. Also, so were you surprised at your heat tolerance as you've gone through some of these challenges, or was it something you're like, okay, yeah.
Oh, as I've started eating the pods, I am still to this day really shocked at my my heat tolerance.
Mhm.
Uh, I guess the pods are like the fastest way to grow the tolerance. Uh, I think I ate 16 super hots 2 weeks ago, live on Instagram. We do that every week, and after that, I've been drinking Tink bottles, and it's really like it's weird because I expect the worst burn because before I was eating pods, I was like doing Robbies of Tink, and it was
Mhm.
lighting. Like I was, crying and gagging, and you know how it is. Uh, but now, like I can do a 30 ml Tink bottle, and I won't even feel it in my mouth anymore. But it'll hit my gut, and it comes back up pretty quick.
So one of the questions we have, have you eaten multiple pods in a day? Are you eating just throughout the day, or have you eaten more than one in one sitting? How's that working out for you?
Uh, I normally just eat them back to back in one sitting a day. Uh, Before I found out I was invited to this, I was just eating throughout the day.
Right.
I would go through one of the small flat rate boxes a day, which I think is like 40 to 50.
I say that's pretty impressive depending on the size of those pods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
In a sitting, before I got invited to this, I was able to do 16 in one
Mhm.
sitting. That was at about 45 minutes or so, with a burn time in between and whatnot.
Awesome.
uh,
Well, the advice I will give, and that's just not even from because I've never competitively done the pods, is make sure you chew them up so you last longer in the guts. I will say that's
yeah,
the only advice that I've
yeah,
learned through doing these interviews is chew them up.
yep.
You have time to chew them. You know what I mean? So that would be
Yeah.
a recommendation.
I actually tried speed eating 5 pods, like just to see if I could do it. And my lord, it's so hard because before eating the pods, I would not chew it because of how hot they were. You know,
Yes.
few bites and you're like, oh, this is hot, so you just try and swallow it to get it out of your mouth.
Right.
Now that I've grown a tolerance, I've trained myself to chew up really,
Mhm.
really. And now trying to speed eat, it's the complete opposite. Like instead of being able to do, a couple pods in a minute, now it's like I really got to sit there and take my time and chew it and really, I guess, enjoy the pod.
Mhm.
Uh, which, and
It
yeah,
well, and here's the thing, it's kinda like if you've ever been to, like, a bourbon tasting or even a vodka tasting where you don't realize that some of these spirits have a distinct taste to them when you
right,
learn how to taste them and how to enjoy them.
right.
So, it is like that, and until you realize that it's more than just heat, there's a flavor, there's a profile to it, that's a big deal. One of the questions is, your biggest issue with doing the heat challenges, is it your stomach or the tolerance of the actual heat that you've experienced so
Oh,
far?
That's a good question. I've I my biggest thing, I have a lot of willpower,
Mhm.
uh, like being able to drink that baby formula. Like I
Yeah.
really know how to push myself and able to drink my own throw up, which was really gross.
That's a little off the wall, that's for sure.
Yeah. Uh, so really get through the whole mouth burn, like no problem. The one that I've had a trouble with is my throat.
Mhm.
So the mouth is fine. The throat, I'm still trying to learn. My stomach was really bad when I first started eating pods, but the past few weeks I've been prepping differently to learn what my gut is better off with.
I think
Two,
the tinctures help with that, in my opinion, especially if you do them in a heavier quantity,
right,
yeah, for
right,
sure.
yeah.
And speaking of tinctures, you have made a lineup of tinctures and some spicy projects, so to speak, that you've sent out, and I've fortunately been able to obtain myself. So let's talk about some of those real quick, like a tincture. Like what is your process? I don't have to give me details. Like, what is your process and how long do you make a tincture? For example.
Uh, I normally try to go at least 3 months of a soak. uh,
Okay.
and I have experience with 9 months soak and compared them in heat and smoothness and stuff and whatnot. But yeah, I normally I do three different alcohol bases to get different burns and
Yeah.
flavors. Typically 3 months soak, 2 week evaporation ish. I taste them as they sit. So when I think that they're good, that's kind of when I pull it and start filtering and
Yeah.
doing all of the back stuff basically.
Sure.
Uh,
Okay. And you made some products that have, challenge worthy products, for flavor and heat. Um, you did the Scorcher Torture 2.0, and then some Rice Krispie treats that you collab with Sean in the Pack, I believe.
yep.
Um, so to talk about a little bit kind of what goes in, like, is it a powder? Is it like what kind of things do you think about when you're making a challenge type of product?
Uh, Normally Kim thinks about
Okay.
all of it, and I do the heat part basically. Uh, when we wanted to make our own challenge,
Mhm.
it was kind of one. It was after the hot dang show bites. That's literally the key to our success, I guess. Uh, we wanted to make something that tasted like the hot dang show bites, and but different at the same
Different,
time.
right?
Those things are so good, like really,
Yeah,
really.
I know the original one as very full of flavor and the colors and just the way it hits your mouth and the way the burn comes after. And I still have the 2.0 that I need to do, and that I'm excited that the Rice Krispies were good. I gave my honest review about them when you did those. They were good. I mean, they give
Yeah,
you enough where you have to kind of chew them and get them all through your mouth. So those were good. Those were good challenges to do, and they're very tasty. So if you ever see him post a challenge, please jump on them because they are worth it.
yeah, they're a lot of fun to make. We have a couple ideas of a new one coming up probably around Christmas time. So
Mhm. And some of
you'll,
the advice is pod tolerance is way different than tincture tolerance, even for the gut. So,
yep,
make sure they're way different in the way your body breaks things down. Um,
yep,
so
yep.
that's very cool. Um,
Actually, it was a year ago, a couple weeks ago. I actually bought my first tinctures, which was from Garden. So I've been doing tinctures for a year.
okay,
Only crazy because I actually had a memory from my vacation where I was doing my first tinks. So I definitely have learned that there's a huge difference in tolerance and how your body reacts between tinks and pods. Just recently, I just started
right.
doing go. And I thought my tolerance was high with just the tincture, and then you eat a pod, and it tells you, you fucked up.
For sure, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Is there any strange hidden talents or useless knowledge that you might have for us at this
Uh, I don't think so. I'm on my channel, we're very open with everything. So
Sure.
uh, we're awkward, so we'll tell you anything that comes to mind basically all the time.
Right.
uh, so I think the weirdest thing about me is being able to have that power, the power to do really stupid stuff
Mhm.
and succeed, I guess you'd say. Like
Sure.
like being able to eat like surstrumming and you know stupid stuff. Just
Hey,
being able to
it's part of the
keep it.
game, you know. If that's what you do, that's what you do.
Yeah, I've never done it my whole life until starting this channel 2 years ago. So
So this is something of talent that has come up a little bit.
I've if I could levitate, I would.
Sometimes you might feel like it if you get that endorphin rush, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, so as far as challenges, what was the most difficult challenge for you before, during, after, that you've done spicy wise? Since that's what we're talking about.
Oh, most difficult. That's tough. I there's not a lot that's been like the hot dang show bites was my first like
Right.
fail on the channel for a spicy challenge because I didn't know what it was then. I didn't
Sure.
know anything about the heat level of League of Fire and all that. But Killer Queen Chug was my first League of Fire official challenge.
Woo!
I succeeded, uh, and then I had the worst night of cramps of my life.
Yes. Yes.
That was my second set of cramps ever. Chris and Beth were actually there for that. We were in a hotel, and yeah, it was bad. So after finished the challenge, I felt like I had to throw up. I cannot throw up. Like I've
Mhm.
trained myself for the past 2 months to be able to try and throw up. Like I'm throwing up more than I used to my whole life.
Yeah.
Uh, I tried to throw up. I was dry heaving for probably a minute, and it was terrible. Like nothing was coming out. And then I got my endorphin rush at that point. I guess from the heavy breathing and dry heaving, I got a huge rush, and I stood up, and I was really dizzy, lightheaded, tingly all over.
Right.
You got, and then like it just hit me a huge gut bomb at the same time, and I went into a slight panic. Like I didn't know what to do. I was heavy breathing still and lightheaded all at the same time, and that was the experience. And the cramps lasted for about 7 hours,
Yeah.
mostly on, not the off and on normal thing. I was trying to do like CBD oil and stuff to see if like it'll help calm the gut because
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
nothing was working.
I
It was
know that was one of my first chug challenges I've done as far as hot sauce chugs, and I
yeah.
have very many of them. And then when Goot did the 7 days of hell, I did two of them back to back with Midge back then. And I'll tell you, the first time I did it, I didn't know what to expect because I've never done a hot sauce chug challenge before.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, this challenge wasn't bad. And then about an hour later, I was like, this is not good. What is going on with me? And I was about 4 hours. And the second time, it was about 8 hours in two 4 hour waves of
Oh,
like sweating on the floor
yeah.
and something like that. So talk about your first experience with. Have you ever had deal with cap cramps at all, or is
Uh,
it
sadly, now I have cramps multiple times a week. I've had cramps 3 times in one day. Uh, trying to train the belly, basically. My first set of cap cramps was hot dang show bites,
right?
and they didn't come till about 2 3 hours after.
That's the worst, in my opinion, when they come
And
later and you think you're fine for and then hours later.
right, and I'd never had them before that, so
Right.
I was really confused on what was even going on. Like I just felt it, going down my stomach a little bit. I thought, maybe it was like acid reflux or something like that. So I was drinking tea and stuff, a little bit of Pepto, well, a lot of Pepto actually, just trying to the calm the guts. And ended up getting like a flash of like sweat and cold
Mhm.
and hot and all that crazy feeling. Uh, and then felt it in the rear. Like,
Yes.
I was like, okay, so what's actually going on?
Yeah, what
So,
goes in has to come back out.
yeah, I sat there thinking, all right, it's just going to come out and just flush the toilet, be done with it. Nothing was happening. It was just gurgles in the stomach. Thought I was going to throw up, so I
Yeah.
pulled up my pants, leaned over into the shower. Nothing was coming up. It was just a little bit of dry heaving. So after that, it was terrible. I texted Kim because she wasn't living with me at the time, and I didn't know what to do, and I was just laying shirtless on the floor. She walked in. I was sitting on the couch trying to eat pizza, thinking I need to get something in my stomach. Pizza's not the way to go because of the tomato sauce, the acid in the pizza with the gut bomb going on. It was terrible. I ended up throwing that out the back door with looked like a whole bottle of Pepto. It went against the side of my house. Yeah, it was about 4 hours of miserable. It wasn't the longest cramps, but it was my first, so it felt really bad.
Yeah,
Really bad.
according to the Scoville unit, you're his favorite cramper.
Yeah,
So he must know some quite the experiences,
yeah.
And that's a
So,
lot of times what people don't realize when we put these videos on, what happens before, during, and after
yeah,
necessarily. We don't try to put that out. And like you said, since YouTube has really cut down on that, it's hard to show the reality of what you put yourself through sometimes.
right, right,
Um, and I think more of the public needs to see that, because panic mode is different from what your body's actually dealing
exactly,
with.
exactly,
And capsaicin is actually a natural pain reliever, believe it or not, because of the
right,
endorphins that it puts your body through and stuff like that.
right. It's
So
getting
speaking of endorphins, have you ever experienced what they call the capsaicin high, or where you've kind of felt floaty-ish? And if you have, describe that to me, because honestly, the closest I ever got to that was the Death Nut 3.0, and other than that, I have never experienced something like
really, yeah. My first time, it was I think one of our first 4 or 5 videos we ever did. We were doing hot ones type deal, but we were using French fries and stuff because we didn't want to get anything. I don't know. We were stupid back then. uh, we were doing as many hot sauces as we can in the shortest amount of time. So we were literally just dumping hot sauce on fries and eating them over and over again. We got to the bomb hot sauce,
that. Mhm.
so we did as much of that as possible at one time, like both of us. And then we ended up going into panic mode because that was the hottest thing we've ever had at that time. And then it was probably about 5 minutes later, I felt like the tingly in the face and all that. Uh, and I just sat down and I felt like I zoned out for like 10 minutes. It was just like, it's like you just hit a bong, like literally. You're
Yes.
there and you're like, what do I do? What's going on? I feel like I'm missing something. And you just kind of, it's like a fuzzy feeling. I don't know. It was interesting. So we went to Taco Bell and it, it was weird. It's really hard to explain without doing it yourself.
No, I understand. Like I said, the closest I ever got was the Death Nut 3.0, where I just knew my afterburn period was not gonna be easy for that one.
Right.
And
Yeah. Actually never done that one. So
yeah, well, it's rough. Um, and that was when I had a much higher tolerance than I do now. It's probably been about 7 months since I've actually done a for real challenge,
right.
which is, of course, life gets in our way sometimes. So there was a question earlier, and I'm not gonna even be specific to the person. But since we're talking about the Zest Fest, what is your approach? What is going to be that you know of? I mean, you don't have to give any secrets out, but your approach to doing this challenge, since it is going to be multiple levels of peppers and maybe even some surprise challenges in between. There might be a sauce chug, and you don't know. What's your approach going to be to make sure you're a competitor in this event?
Well, Kim's actually been training me. So we're basically just doing like mini competitions.
Okay.
Uh, doing that, we're eating pods, drinking hot sauce. doing gushers, putting tink in the pods just to get more of a burning sensation in the mouth. Just little things like that, making just little competitions when we can. I mean, you're not going to be able to reenact the competition. There's going to be the anxiety and the
Right.
pressure watching, so that's going to mess with your gut itself.
Yeah.
So it kind of just going for it. No one really knows me. I don't know anyone that's going to be there really at all. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to be
Well,
myself.
I mean, you know some of the competitors, right? You know who they are,
I
right?
know Chris. Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
really anyone else that much. Ruthie probably the second most.
Well, I will tell you, it's a great opportunity to meet these people, and I'm telling you, you'll form lifelong bonds just if you have with the Scoville unit.
Right.
All it takes is one meeting sometimes, and you instantly have that bond, especially in an event like this where literally the people on the stage are your friends. You know what I
Right.
mean? They really do become like friends and family.
Right.
I think it's awesome, and I'm so excited that you were invited to this event because I think it is a big deal,
Yeah.
and just getting to know you over the period of time that I've gotten to know you, you're a great person. Um, you support the community. You've always supported the community even before you were aware of what all they do. Um, so where can we see more of you after this point right here? Where are we able to view you?
We're mostly on YouTube. We upload Monday through Friday. If we do challenges or whatever, I'll post those normally on the weekends. And Instagram, we go live twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Nice. That's cool that you schedule that. That's awesome. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it
Um,
helps. You know, if people have free time, they know, come on here, go hop on the live, burn with
right.
us. Just have fun. That's all we're trying to do. All
For
this
sure.
serious stuff going on in everyone's lives. We need to have some fun.
We do. And it's you can't even hardly tell jokes sometimes. So you might as well do something to make yourself look stupid and we'll laugh at me. Don't laugh at them, laugh at me, you know. And
Exactly.
and that's my approach too when I do my challenges. And it literally says that in my description.
Right.
I genuinely care about people. Mental health is a big deal. Um, you support foundations around the world as well for through donations. We don't have to get into all that right now, but you're a great community person in my opinion. Not just for the chili community, but just in general. You contribute in a very honoring and giving way. Very humble person, and I thank you for that. And I also thank you for the time that you took to spend with me here so we can get to know you a little better and get some more exposure for you, get some more exposure for me. This is about everybody in this community helping each other grow. You even have a group, let's grow together.
Right.
There's a reason for that. You want to see people succeed.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
So this right here is your moment to give us any final plugs, last minute plugs, anything. You're free to spill anything you want to do right now. Is your time.
Uh, well, I mostly just want to thank everyone. The community that we've grown on YouTube and that has followed us to Facebook and found Facebook. Everyone's been super helpful getting us to ZestFest. Steve Gillespie has started a fundraiser for us a couple weeks ago to help us get to ZestFest, and it literally has paid for everything already, which
Awesome.
is. And if anyone wants to do that, go on lateforworkyoutube.com. We have a little raffle spot. You can buy raffles, which we have, I want to say, about $400 worth of products in that. Two people are going to win, so we're going to split that up. We do giveaways every week on our YouTube. So all you have to do is leave a comment on our video, and you get into the little spin wheel, and we send you a free gift, whether it be something spicy, something, just anything. It can be range from Bean Boozled stuff to our tinks to
Sure.
uh, Blazing Foods challenge or something that our daughter drew. It can be anything, anything. Uh, and yeah, we're just thankful for everything. To even the opportunity to go to ZestFest and compete. Uh, I'm so overwhelmed and can't believe it's happening. But it's because of you guys that support us. That's how they found us, basically, I guess. I have no idea why or how, but it happened, and I'm going to give my all. And if I throw up on someone, I'm sorry now.
Yeah, yeah. YouTube won't have a choice then. This is a public event, right?
Plenty of
Yeah. No, but I appreciate your time, and like I said, I know everybody's got a schedule to, in their life and stuff like that. It's important to me, and I'm glad you had the time to sit down with me, and I'm glad I got to meet you in person. That's,
Yeah.
uh, but you're no different from what I've seen in person as you are in your videos. Like you said, you're straight and to the point. So what you see is what you get with this man,
Yep.
and I couldn't be more proud of everybody that I get a chance to meet and interview. So again, I thank you for your time. Um, this has been a wonderful interview, as all of them have. I wish you the best of luck in in the competition and ZestFest October 1st. You'll see this man again, hopefully
Yep.
holding up what they call the Red Bird belt. Right? That's what we're aiming for. Yeah. All right. Well, you stay crazy, my friend, and we'll see you again soon. All right.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. Well, there you have it. Another wonderful interview with a great person, Jayson from Late for Work. It was great to get his backstory, get a little bit to know him. So I appreciate you all joining me. You all are wonderful people. You are what keeps me going. And I apologize for not doing the challenges lately, but this isn't about me right now. This is about the competitors. Um, but yeah, mental health is important as well. Um, and when I say stay crazy, that means be wild, do your own thing, and who cares what other people think? It's you, it's me. We're here for each other. Um, but I love you all, so thank you so much for joining. Please join me again on Outside the Fire, Krazee J's Wild Ride, as we go on this journey together. So stay crazy, my friends. I'll see you soon.